Nice bit of Nickelback there. 17 minutes past 10.
Love that.
And we've got more odd news in the next 40 minutes, and we'll mix that in with the mystery year as well. Try not to get those two mixed up, because, of course, the news from those years is slightly different.
Right, one odd piece. I've got... You like a glass of wine, don't you?
I had a glass of wine last night, actually. I've got a funny story about that.
Well, there's a bloodhound who really knows her wines.
Okay.
Apparently. You'd think this is America from the name of the dog. She's called Miss Louisa Bell.
Okay.
Is the name of the dog. Because she's got such a superior sense of smell, she's been taken on and trained to detect tainted or corked vats and bottles of wine.
Ooh,
Yes.
a wine-sniffing dog.
A wine-sniffing dog, yes. Her owners, who are winemakers, Michelle Edwards and Daniel Flish, were astonished to watch as Miss Bell unfailingly selected all that were tainted by pushing them to a side with her snout at their vineyard in Victoria, Australia.
Did she pick out like an oaky Chardonnay and a dry Italian?
This has a taint of mould. Shove it.
This one has it's got a robust accompaniment of wet dog. No. The story was, very quickly, I had a glass of wine last night. It was a dry Italian white wine.
Mm-hmm.
One glass. And no, it was one glass. It was one glass.
One of those glasses you can fit an entire bottle
No,
in.
it was an old-fashioned size wine glass, not a sort of 90s binge drinking massive vat, because they are massive, aren't they? Now the wine glasses, they got bigger.
Oh yeah.
No, proper old-fashioned style size wine glass. And about an hour later, once I've had dinner, and I was getting the show ready, actually, I was on the computer, and got really, really hot. Like, astonishingly, like, when, like, in the summer, when it's, say 25, say today got like 25 degrees, 30 degrees, and it was humid, and you get really hot under the collar, and everyone, gets sweaty, and you feel really uncomfortable. I was like that for about 3 hours until about 11 o'clock last night. And I was on Facebook at the same time, and I Facebooked a friend of mine, Ailey, because she's got drinking experience, shall we say. And I said, is it normal for me to, and she was like, not really. But then again, another friend the other week said to me, that alcohol obviously affects your body temperature, because it can throw you off. So sometimes when you drink, if you go out on a night out and perhaps you have too much, when you're coming home, you shiver. It throws out your body temperature.
Well, yeah, alcohol reduces body temperature.
Yeah, but in my case, it pushed it up. I mean, I take it was that. I mean, I had lasagna for tea, and then I had some apple pie and a cup of tea. So I don't know does apple pie throw up your body temperature?
Maybe it's the complex sort of carbonates that are formed within sort of apple pie, lasagna, and white wine.
Yeah, I like the scientific. Yeah. It must be the scientific. Yeah. Far too. It's like QI, this show, isn't it?
But without the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you know why I was so hot last night, jokes aside, give us a ring, Swindon 611 555. You can text us 07900 171 453. Are you a nurse at the GWH? Can you figure it out? Do you know why? Does it? I would imagine, it should reduce your body temperature.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
So what caused that? Or perhaps I'm just odd.
Maybe that the alcohol in the wine reduced the body temperature, and the natural reaction was for your body to say, I'm feeling cold, let's heat everything up.
That could be, yeah. If you know, send us a text, or indeed tweet us. Our Twitter username is RoundSwindon, all lowercase, all one word. What more odd news have you picked out, or indeed any news? Because we really are the bastions of news today, and I bet the BBC are kicking themselves because that strike's on today.
Yeah.
And we just had the massive news at 10 o'clock, which is that finally, after I think 5 times of her asking, or 3 times or 4 times, Rupert Murdoch has finally accepted the resignation of the News of the World. Well, no, she's the head of
she's head of News International,
which is the umbrella organisation. She's gone.
Yes.
She's got to work out her notice, though. You have to give. This is the thing. If you're a high-profile person, you resign from like a government body. If you resign rather than quit, you have to work out a notice period of like 4 to 6 weeks, or however long it is.
Yeah, something like that.
To get your pay and all your pension and all that type of stuff, and so you don't get kicked out or set on fire as you go through the car park. So does she have to still work, or what does that mean? I
would imagine she does, yeah.
Maybe.
But what's she going to do? Is she going to make it just as anybody else would do who's about to leave a company, to just ruin everything?
Super glue all of the space bars on the computers.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
I think somebody's already done it, so LSRR.
Yeah, that's true. So what else have you got?
Right, one thing caught my eye from the advert, local, which will keep Shirley happy. This is local. Gok Wan the fashion guru and icon that he is.
You look lovely, girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's just one phrase I think I can do with it.
Apparently, he was at T4 on the beach down in Weston-super-Mare over the weekend.
Yep.
And on his way back home with about 10 of his mates in this minibus or something, decided they needed to stop off for a bite to eat and ended up at the Spotted Cow over a coat, which was really nice. I mean, so we're on the map. A fashion guru has arrived. And then I look at myself in the mirror and realise that I am seriously not fashionable.
See, I wonder for him that what were the details of was he polite? Was he nice? Does it sort of give details of that?
Yeah, it says he was really nice, fairly quiet, kept himself to himself, and was in for chicken wings, I think.
Because I saw him being interviewed on the One Show about 2 weeks ago, and I've never actually sat through one of the shows that he does, but. What I always he comes across as a really nice guy as well, and I think he just brought a book out. It's like people like that. Can he switch off when he's not working, or when he's out shopping, or when he's like out like that, like a public place, having dinner or meeting somebody? Is his mind always thinking about looking at what people are wearing? And
quite possibly.
Thinking, well, if she had that and it was a bit bigger, or it was a bit tighter, or she'd buttoned it with that button undone, she'd look far better.
Yeah, but it's right at the thinking of it. But do you reckon he's tempted to walk up to somebody and say, "Excuse me, dear, you look wonderful"? But
maybe he does do. I don't know. I mean, are you anybody listening who's like, is Jeff Banks listening right now? That's right. That's the question on everybody's lips. If you're a fashionista, give us a ring. Do you go up to people or not? Or because I mean, there's the opposite of that, which is if you see someone who's really well dressed, and you just think their outfit looks great and they look really good in it, and it suits where they are as well. People go up to them and say, "Can I just say, I think you look fantastic with what you've got on." Or those shoes are great. Where did you get them? And because I mean, there's a big thing about fashion, and fashion is everywhere now. And in photography as well, there's a guy called the sartorialist, who used to work in fashion in New York, and I think about 4 years ago, he took time off work. He left his job to look after his newly born daughter, and he got bored. And he'd been a photographer when he was younger, so he started going out on the street in his sort of spare time, and in New York, of course, this is, and taking pictures of people who he thought were really well dressed or their outfit was really specific. Then would upload the pictures online onto his blog, and people would comment on what people were wearing,
oh, cool,
and their style, and it's amazing to look at. Myself and another friend have tried to copy what he's done in Swindon, and it's not as easy as you think. No. Because A, you're not in New York, and B, you're not in New York. But when you see someone who's really considered in what they're dressed, for example, yesterday when Des Morgan was in, we were talking off air about, we mentioned about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. We were talking about spying, weren't we? About the top 10 list of men's favourite dream jobs. And he was talking about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and was talking about David McCallum and Robert Vaughan, who are both in shows now. David McCallum is in NCIS, which is shown on Channel 5.
Yep.
And Robert Vaughan is in Hustle, shown on BBC One.
Yep.
And Robert Vaughan in particular, in Hustle, and whenever you see him off of that show, being interviewed, he's got impeccable dress sense.
Oh, it's absolutely immaculate,
Stunning suits, he looks great. And he always has, even when he was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So again, that totally can throw someone's personality right out there, or their career, if you're...
Yeah, I mean, just trying to imagine the likes, say, of Robert Vaughan sort of wandering around in a pair of jeans and old sneakers.
You can't imagine that,
no,
can you?
It just doesn't work.
And it would be really disappointing if he did.
Yeah.
Because he's got that stylish air about him,
Yeah, he sort of oozes sartorial eloquence.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He's a wonderful guy.
But yeah, Gok was in Swindon, so hopefully we can entice him back, maybe.
Yeah, get him in the studio, see if he can do anything with us. I mean, God knows we need it.
Yeah, I think I definitely need some new shoes, that's for sure. Anyway, this is starting to lurch into loose women territory.
It is.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to play some proper man's music now. We're going to play some Blur, Country House, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk anything more manly than trains.
Trains?
We're going to talk trains straight after Blur,
good.
Country House.